the hard way.
Yeah.
So David winds up with this woman named Bathsheba, who is Uriah's wife, and she ends up getting pregnant. The problem is that David tries to cover up his thoughts. He tries to cover his tracks.
Yeah.
Now there is currently a war going on, and Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, is away in battle. David sends for Uriah and tries to convince him to have relations with his wife, to enjoy the married life. In other words, he wants Uriah to forget about the war.
Yeah.
And take care of his own personal needs, his own personal desires. You know what married people do. The problem is Uriah is a loyal man. And he remembers that his troops are out on the battlefield fighting. So he cannot bring himself to enjoy the pleasures of being married. The problem with some of us is we would have jumped on this opportunity and forgot all about those others that are on the battlefield. We would have been selfish and thought only of ourselves, but this was not who Uriah was. Since this didn't work, David had to come up with another plan to try and X this problem out, to try and get this, to fix what he had already messed up on his own. So he decided to send Uriah to the front of the line in the war, and while up there, Uriah died. He was killed. This means that Bathsheba is no longer Uriah's wife, and she's able to have this baby. She's able to have this child, even though it's not her husband's child anyway. Another prophet walks in, and his name is Nathan. And he comes to inform David of two men, one rich man and one poor man. The rich man who can have whatever he likes, while the poor man is just doing the best he can to get by. The poor man has one little lamb, while the rich man is overflowing with riches and lambs and anything else that he needs, he has. The man is approached by a traveler, and instead of taking a lamb or a sheep from the rich, he takes from the poor. David hears this and becomes appalled and tells Nathan that this man shall pay back the poor man 4 times as much as the rich man should surely give back to what the man had. And then this rich man should be put to death. Then we hear these words that bring forth a harsh and terrible truth.
Come on with it.
Nathan says to David, "You are that rich man." This brings us up to date into our text over in Psalm 51. See, all these things have been brought up against David, and we now find David throwing himself a pity party. You know how that is when we get that shock back to reality. Maybe we thought we were going to pass that test that we were for, and we see that big F circled in the center of our face. You know how it is. You know how the story goes. You have that old woe is me, what is I to do? But this is where David is in his life. But David is trying to make that change, and we can see that as we get to verse 3. The first thing that we need to do along with David is acknowledge our wrongdoing.
All right.
For I acknowledge my transgression, and my sin is always before me. The best way to stay out of trouble is not to do anything wrong. That's hard for us to do because we have that old human sinful nature. We're always thinking of things we can do. So young people, especially young people, I need you to understand, because this is where it touched me. Your grandparents, your parents, your aunts, uncles, leaders, pastors, preachers, teachers, any adult that you come in contact with has already been down the road that you're on. In some way, shape, fashion, or form. 9 times out of 10, when you've done something wrong and your parents or an adult asks you about it, they pretty much know all the details, what you did, who you did it with, where you were, and all that. So it's better to just go ahead and tell the truth and get it over with than to fabricate what we tend to think they want to hear. Let me see if I can break this down a little bit. When I was at my grandmother's house, I got home from school before my granny did. She would say, "Don't have nobody in my house." When I thought I was big enough and bad enough, I tried to, I can do this. She'll never know. And I'd bring people in there. And I tried to make sure they didn't mess with anything I had no business messing with. But some way, somehow, she knew that somebody had been in her house. That something was out of place. There was a scent in there that wasn't of mine. Something was in there that should not have been in there.
That's great.
Granny would say, was somebody in my house? Well, yes, ma'am. So-and-so needs to get a drink of water. water. They just live right down the street. They can get water from their own house. Or you could have been smarter than that and just brought the cup on outside to them. They didn't have to come in my house. I told you not to have anybody in my house. Was somebody in my house? Well, yes, ma'am. So-and-so needs to use the phone. They got phones everywhere. They don't have to be in my house to use the phone. In other words, do what you're told to do.
All right now.
Stay out of trouble. Quit thinking you can get over on people and do what you should do. See, we've been charged to live a holy and a blameless life. A life that's free of wrongdoing, but we also understand that we are not perfect. The only one that was perfect is the one known as Jesus.
Yes.
Not even this man after God's own heart, David, was able to live sin-free. For we already know his faults and his flaws, and he is man enough to acknowledge it. The problem with some of us is we've gotten so holier than thou that we're unable to see the wrong that we have done. We'll worry and wonder about what our friends are doing and be so quick to point out their problems and they're wrong, but we will act as if we're just white as the pure driven snow. I've got news for you. If you think that what you're doing is a secret, and that is what David thought, no matter what you're doing and who you think won't find out, even all your hiding, God still knows all.
That's right.
And God still sees all, and he's everywhere at the same time.
That's right.
So David knew he could no longer hide what he had done, but he acknowledged his issues and was ready to get right with God. I charge you, my brothers and sisters, if you aren't in good standing, there's no better place like here, and there's no better time like now. Get right with God and do it right now. So once you've acknowledged your wrongdoings, you must then ask for a recreation. Verse 10 says, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Verse 11 says, cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. You may have all heard that song, Lord, make me over. Lord, make me over. Lord, make me over again. And that is what's going on right now. That's the song that David has in his spirit. He's saying, Lord, make me over again. I know our youth choir at Greater Salem used to sing a song that said, if you find anything that's not like you, I ask you, Lord, you know what to do. Wash me, Lord, and cleanse me through and through, and just take it away from me. In other words, David is repenting from what he has done. He is saying, yes, Lord, I know I've done wrong, but I've come to my senses. I'm sorry, Lord, and I can't do this thing by myself. I'm taking this to you because I trust you, Lord. And oh, Lord, it's not easy, but I trust you. Through all the hurt and the pain, Lord, yes, I'm still going to trust you. Just like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 challenges us to trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, and all our ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our paths. We say this on a weekly basis, but do we actually live this? Can you say, God, through all the hurt and all the mess that I've been through, I'm willing to trust you to fix everything that's broken within me? Can we say that we trust in God? Yes, we can say it, but better yet, can we live that we trust in God? Can